Well, greetings, hello, and welcome back. It's episode number 7. I'm ImperialJedi, appreciate you being here. And today's episode is going to be focused on building a new highway interchange. And it might be a little bit intimidating. I'm going to try and break it down as much as I can. And we're going to do kind of like a few of these progressively over the next few episodes, but I'm not going to like bombard you with them back to back. So we're just going to start by making a nice little fun interchange out of this. I think we're going to do a partial cloverleaf over here. And I'm going to do a smaller, more compact partial cloverleaf out of this eventually. And I think we're going to make a diverging diamond out of this guy here. So lots of fun options. We'll spread these out over the next like few episodes, right? Not going to be, like I said, back to back or anything. And I want to kind of showcase a little bit more as to like why this is not a bad starting intersection / interchange, but it's not the greatest for like when the city grows. And like in an IRL perspective too, it's like these are very dangerous. And as your city does get more traffic volume and stuff, they become even more dangerous, and the traffic flow just literally falls apart. These become extreme bottlenecks. Unless you can get really cool, like advanced turning lanes and that kind of stuff, right? But it's hard to do that in Skylines. So I'll show you the next best thing. So we'll go from a diamond over to a partial cloverleaf. And also, this is a little bit of a segue into our high density zoning. So we're going to be just kind of setting the infrastructure up ahead of time for that. So instead of making the very complicated highway version of this, I'm actually just going to start with a really simple in-town version. I know our vibes over here are kind of like still highway. So I'm going to, you know, extend this a little bit here, but use a little bit of make-believe. Imagine we had faster speed limits on this. I think I said this before, though. The wider the road becomes, the higher the speed limit. So even though we won't get all lanes necessarily used out of the 6-laner, the speed limit's higher. So it'll help us a little bit. All right. Now, when I first started making highway interchanges, I was just like in love with the idea, and I just felt like it was like almost like my duty to make these completely symmetrical, like to the pixel almost. And that was just driving me absolutely bonkers. So now these days, I almost like prefer when it's on a like a bit of a slope, or a little bit of a gentle curve in the highway. Anyway, so for starters, what I'm going to do is just do a nice big old bridge over top. I'm going to have the pillars, this one's a little bit far. Not as close as I can, but pretty darn close to the highway, all things considering. Enough room that we could theoretically, you know, let's say this was 2 lanes. Enough room to theoretically still upgrade, so we're not squashing it. And again, from like a realism perspective, you wouldn't have the pillars super close in case there's an accident. You want a little bit of space in between. And then for us, we want just kind of a corridor right here in between the next set of pillars. I'm sorry, just before our radio host starts chit-chatting, I'm just going to... Oh, actually, it's a good song. Let's do this one here. Had a little bit more feedback. I mean, the hosts, I like them. They just talk a lot, that's all. And when I'm talking to, it gets a little all over the place. Anyway, I just want to make sure we have a corridor right here. And we're going to be running, in the future, potentially, you know, express collector lanes through here. But for the moment, it'll be part of our partial cloverleaf system. And you'll kind of see. And we'll just ballpark spacing. That was roughly, what is that, 1020 looks like. Oh, it just extended the one pillar there. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so we're just going to kind of ballpark this. Again, see, if we're trying to chase perfect symmetry, we'd be at this forever. And I know you guys don't want to see that. I've already had some feedback in the comments. If you feel like the slope is crazy, you know, same idea as before, we'll just extend it. I'm not going to devote too much time to doing this. Don't worry. I know some of you are like, oh my god, Imperial. Don't worry. All right, so the idea here, right, bridge over top, and instead of us kind of crossing over and making just a very simple diamond, right, which would essentially just be this, not doing this, right? And again, we'll just kind of go over really quickly. The reason why these do not work very well is you have to cross in front of traffic. If it's a traffic light, in real life, if it's not a timed traffic light, not a lot of volume will go through here. Not very fast, right? They're dangerous. So what is the future and better version of this, you ask? That is the partial cloverleaf. I want to say in the 70s it was developed in the province of Ontario by the Ministry of Transportation, I think. I think I'm not making that up. And that's where I live too, so kind of like hometown shoutouts. I'm pretty sure I'm not making that up. Okay, so instead of us going in a diamond shape, what we're going to be doing is running a collector lane through here. And in this case, our collector lane is just going to be for this particular on-off junction. Hypothetically, as your city grows, you can connect your on-offs together, and then the express kind of becomes like, if you're not stopping at the city anywhere, you stay to the express. If you're going to be taking some of the exits, you move to the collector. And anybody that like joins the city highway within the city will be on the collector and then merge onto the express. And then the bigger and longer that is, maybe you've got some merging points throughout. That's just to help kind of spread the load of traffic, not really create too many bottlenecks. And again, if you're not stopping at the city, you won't really be slowed down too much by city traffic. Okay. And so what ends up happening, is as you drive towards the highway, you leave with your own dedicated lane. You're going to bypass what will be a traffic light up here. And then we merge on with our collector. The traffic lanes, visually will look nice like this. So if you're going for that realism factor, do it. The traffic itself might not use these properly though. But I think it still looks nice and is worth the effort. And if you want to just do a little bit of detailing, maybe we can show there's some landscaping happening here. Definitely you can find some trees in and around the junctions, but maybe this part here is cleared. Just so, if you're a big truck or something, you can see if anyone's coming. Maybe you have to move over a lane or something like that. And then, it maybe helps show the boundary where the maintenance is taking place. Maybe we got a little fence. And, we're kind of out in the boonies. Maybe we've got a little farm fence through here. Maybe at one point this used to be like a farmer's field that was bought for the interchange construction. Maybe help keep a little bit of the wildlife out as well. And then maybe to help showcase the boundary for the fence, we can just do a little tree-lined wall here. That way, if we start to develop or anything, kind of looks like we're trying to make a sound barrier. Again, this could be like a natural boundary for someone's farmer's field as well, like the windbreak or whatever it's called. Also, who doesn't like trees, man? Okay, so you do kind of whatever level of detailing you feel is appropriate, right? That looks kind of nice. Not a bad start. Not a bad start. All right, so you probably guessed it. This connects up and over here. And it does so in a fun little swoosh. And the idea, right, is now we don't have to cross in front of traffic. So if you want to go, if you're going over the bridge and you want to go left, you now swing a right at the bottom and then merge in. So no more crossing left into here. Now you turn right and join into this. And then this could have been an extension if it went on to the next one, right? And then you got a few options when it comes to putting these in place. If you don't have a lot of space in between your junctions here, you can make this into an asymmetrical road. Downside though with vanilla is you do lose the ability for the cars to kind of make that early right. So they have to wait for the light. But if you're stuck for space, this is a really easy solution for getting this done. And that would just be a way onto the highway now. Right? Option number one. But if you don't want to do this and you really want like faster flow through, you keep these things separated. And then it's key to have fairly decent spacing. This is kind of cutting it close, I won't lie, but we're going to try it in the interest of science here. And then we have the high speed going to the right. And again, it's a little bit close with intersections. Maybe that'd be better off going into here, And then what we're going to do with this is hopefully get 2 turning lanes out of it by going like that. No, see how one wants to go left, one wants to go right? We'll have to do a 3-laner here. And even then, I know that's not what I want. There we go. And then to help with dedicated turning lanes, let's finish this off, and then we'll go over how the lanes will work. And we'll go over all the traffic lights too at the end. But that's principally what we're after, in all its beautiful glory right here. So you got your way off. If you want to quickly turn right, not get stopped by a traffic light, there's your slip lane. You wait here. You have 2 lanes to turn left. Hopefully we'll see some of that happen. This right here can be 2 lanes as well. We end up now with a dedicated turning lane going into here. This one's going to be a dead lane. That's okay. We fortunately don't have asymmetrical roads available on the bigger ones unless we download them or make them ourselves in the workshop. Not workshop, the in-game asset editor. Again, just monitor traffic. If this becomes too close, we'll just spread these out and have them leave the one-ways. I think it's kind of fun to like make almost a mistake or just kind of have these trial and error moments and then like improve on them. That for me is a lot of fun. Okay, let's do the other side really quickly here. And then we'll see if we can get some people actually using the intersection too. We'll, do our best to ballpark the same kind of spacing where everything went through. Yeah, again, so what I was saying like in the beginning, right? You don't necessarily want to be chasing perfect symmetry because you'll spend hours. Trust me, you'll spend so long doing it. And I'd almost argue in the end, it might not look too good. All right, let me switch this again here. Not that I don't like the radio station's commentary. Some of the commercials are fun and stuff. Just, when I'm chit-chatting with y'all. All right, so let's get this rocking and rolling here. And I would say from like a vanilla perspective, this is a very, very, very high function intersection. So we're probably going to do the majority of our interchanges as this. And we'll throw in some diverging diamonds because they're really fun to make. And they're pretty well too, actually, all things considering. So same idea. If you want to, feel free to put in the fences, get rid of some of the trees, just kind of the basic stuff, right? And again, you would have some trees lying around in here. It's just where the merging happens, where it's the danger factor, you want to have a nice clearer view. That's so cool. Oh, I love making these things, guys. You have no idea. And then, again, just for some fun, right? So we're not going to be stuck in this, like, perfect grid here. Let's just curve. Let's just go wild. Breaks that up. Gives us a chance to kind of have some fun here with the on-offs now. Might make that a little bit longer. And it's like the smoother you make your on-offs like this, the ramps, the faster the vehicle traffic, especially the larger vehicles, they'll be able to go through this a lot more easily. And flow and efficiency, kind of the name of the game. Okay, a little bit of weird stuff happening here with the hills. I think in the interest of trying to make this look a little bit nicer, I'm going to terraform just slightly ahead of time. Or I should have terraformed, I guess, ahead of time. Terraform it now. Alright, so I think we had this one coming down a little bit further first. Yeah, then we'll sneak this over. Not bad, not bad. I'm just going to smooth that out a few more times here. Nice. Alright, cool. Let's put these back in. Alright, that one's probably the easiest to do. Keep an eye on our spacing here. That'll be kind of fun too, actually. Hopefully we'll see multi-lane usage there. And then this guy's got to just make his way into here. Cool. Not going to bug anyone else? Okay, let's just fix that last little bit and then we're good. Then let's do some detailing, and then let's chit-chat a little bit about high density. See how this all works, get the lights fired up and everything. There we go. Oh man, these things are so much fun. Okay, so let's go through the lights. We don't want a traffic light here. And the reason is we don't want cars to turn left. Hopefully they're going to take this just to turn right. And the idea of going onto the highway this way is if this traffic light is red, you can just avoid the backup. We turn left here at a protected light, safer for the traffic. No need for a light here, we're just merging in. These crazy hills, oh goodness. Do we not just terraform? That's okay. We'll keep it, otherwise someone's gonna be like, oh boy, don't you dare. Maybe off camera I'll fix that. But as long as it's functional, right? And then same idea over here. Our lights are correct. You can see how the lanes are better, so let's fix our lane spacing over here. In the middle lanes here, we don't need all the extra. And the byproduct of that is us creating dedicated turning lanes now. By the way, the way for us to fix this is to keep it bridged. And then we'll just have that come in as a bridge. So I'll do that off camera. When I upload this to the workshop, it will be like that version, and you'll be like, whoa, cool. And then here, that might be a bit of a close intersection in terms of the node spacing, so I'm just going to redo that, hope for the best. Nope, didn't want to cooperate. And I've had a lot of requests to like not do anything off camera, but I feel like, you know, these kind of improvements, I might maybe dedicate a few episodes here and there so you can kind of see what I'm up to, but I think this kind of stuff I'll do in between episodes. Just the quality of life improvements. Essentially like what Move It Mod would be doing for us, right? Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Okay, let's see if we can get some people using it. So high density, I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about death waves, which are kind of like one and the same. So when you are trying to zone some high density, I would say the number one rule would be do not zone too much at once, and like follow up to that, like make sure the game isn't just on like pause the whole time. And what I mean by that is imagine we're on pause. Imagine we just crafted a massive neighborhood like this, and we zoned the entire thing wall to wall, just blanket high density. All of those people moving in at once, right? It's just, that's what spawns the death wave. They're all going to move in at once. They may or may not, more or less, be about the same age. But if the factors are good, they are going to start having kids at the same time. And then all those kids are going to be more or less just within that same, like, you know, 2, 3, 5 year age gap, right? They're all going to grow up at the same time. They're all going to go to school at the same time. They're all going to get a job at the same time. They're all going to retire at the same time. And they're all going to die at the same time. So you might see these massive moments of just giant drop-offs in your population. And you can kind of get a little bit of a hint as to what's happening by looking at your population stats over here on the left. So it's literally right now, like 1 in 4 people, more than that, are about to drop off the face of the earth here. So yeah, we gotta be careful. How do you combat that? Well, with the new DLC, the Sunset Harbor, they did introduce some elder care and child health care. The Child Health Center will help increase the birth rate, so you get new kids being born faster. And then the elder care is going to help prolong the end-of-life care. So the average age, you can see, starts to increase. And then how do you really combat the death wave? Don't fall into it in the first place. So just zone little bits at a time. You know, like our services infrastructure is not quite ready for our population to like triple yet, you know? So just little bits of zoning. And in regard to what we just built, you know, we got some nice new infrastructure ready for some people. So let's put the first of the high density near there. Keep them closer to wider roads, which means I think I want to upgrade this. Might lose a little bit of that detailing that we just did, but you know, nothing's set in stone. Can't cry over spilt milk. Eminent domain in the name of progress, right? Let's move that school over. But yeah, definitely with like high density comes more more traffic. Oopsies, didn't move that over enough. So I'd say, yeah, it's important to get the infrastructure in place first, which is new highway interchanges, wider roads here. We'll start upgrading the services, and then we'll start bringing in some public transit. And we're going to put the speed on. We're going to unzone this area here. We're going to transform this into a little high-density pocket, and we're just going to throw a little bit more over here for some neighborhood zones. I very, very much so love the idea of urban sprawl in City Skylines. These like massive, massive, massive long, just stretching on forever suburbs. That's kind of fun. It's really cool to go for big populations too, don't get me wrong, but that just like decimates your frame rate over time, right? Your poor computer has to calculate all these routes and keep track of all the sims. So it's fun having like a nice tall downtown, a few pockets that are looking good. I'm just gonna delete this now that it's empty. But for the most part, I like just having, yeah, residential houses. So we'll zone these. We can do some simple detailing too. But, oh, let me switch this. But let's focus the detailing on the little high-density residential neighborhood pocket right here. Just for the sake of some inspiration for someone, you know? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and create us a city park here, because I'm actually going to use some of the assets. And I had some people in the comments section already mention this, saying that their game can't, snap parks to roads. It's only because of the Park Life DLC. So if you'll notice, it's a different district than normal. I can overlap these, right? So districts are how you assign policies to specific areas and how you change build styles. You can also set citywide policies this way, right? But if you want a district policy that supersedes this, or supersedes, that's how you do it, right? Or if you want a specific neighborhood to look a specific way, you make a district and then you can apply themes to it. Some of these come with different DLCs. Anyway, so we're making the park here, and when we have the park down, that's how we can snap buildings to the pathways. But what I'm really after, though, is basically the main gate here to make it seem like we've got kind of a shared community access parking lot. That's what I'm after. All right, so let's switch over to the park assets. Let's put in a pathway here. Side gates, and I'm going to remove the entrance fee. If you want to keep it, totally feel free. It's just not what I'm after right now. Okay. Now let's do not wall-to-wall zoning, but let's do some just casual high-density zoning here. So maybe 2 towers symmetrically in the back. So that can be... Actually, let's do 3x4 like that. And over in that one, a 3x4. Cool. Then we can do a 4x4 right here. And then maybe a 2x3 right there. Alright, we'll see how they pop up, and let's start filling this in as we go. I think I want to drop down a dog park. The doggos for the condos. Because yeah, think about, oh, here we go. Think about, oh, no room for this, eh? Thing about condos is there's not a whole lot of backyard space, right? You might have a little plaza or something like that, but you're gonna want to make sure you're kind of, keeping an eye on your dog friends, on your people friends. We have playground. We got space to kind of go out and read a book or something. Okay, so let's rethink this a little bit here. Taking up a bit more room than I thought it would. Yeah, dog park next to a playground, next to a plaza. Let's do those 3 things, and let's kind of change how the pathways go through. So again, nothing's set in stone. We can always move stuff around. And let's actually move that down by 1 even. You can kind of see why it's important to do the detailing last, because, stuff like this happens, right? You have to redo everything. Which is not bad. I was a little intimidated at first when that happened, but we are A-okay. Good practice, too. Oh, we can put the gate back in. I like using the gate because it gives you something to snap the fences to. See right here? I kind of want to give the vibe that, all are welcome, but it's still kind of clean, don't walk over this part of the grass, respect some of the boundaries. In the perfect world, both of these would pop in as the same condo. Kind of look like, a developer coming through. And a quick little shout out to a fun asset pack. I think it's the retro one or something. Where are you? This stuff here. The Art Deco buildings. I don't know what this is from. It's a content creator pack by Matt Crux. I don't remember the name of it exactly, but these are fun. You get some Art Deco style buildings and condos that can pop up. I think that's one of them right there. Oh, please be the same in some perfect world. Oh, it's so close. It's the same but different color. Whoa, how did that happen? Cool. Oh, same one over here too. Interesting. Oh, that's lucky. Little RNG. Oh, this is fun too. Vanilla ice cream parlor. All right, we're getting distracted. What are we doing here? Get back into the building. But yeah, let's just throw down some more fencing. Make this feel more like a community kind of area here. We'll just throw down some trees. And the whole idea of us having the park here was to be able to snap down some park life stuff to the pathways. And this is what I was referring to that had to be like part of the DLC, right? You can't just do this unless you've got park life. So maybe throw one of these. Actually, throw one of these in here and smooth the fence over a little bit. I hear a fire somewhere. Where are you guys going? Oh my god, I swear there's no relief. Oh my. Every episode, eh? As is tradition. Alright, well, we have faith in the fire department. Do your job, boys and girls. Yeah, this is looking nice. And the real goal is just not to have wall-to-wall high-density zoning. It ends up feeling like a, kind of like a little concrete claustrophobic jungle. Instead, we're keeping the area open. It's breezy. We got a shared parking lot. We got lots of open space here, Very good community vibes. And I feel like, the more of these kind of assets you use, especially as we unlock some more, it'll just feel more real. And I think the next step from this would be to start bringing in some public transit. And, oh, for goodness sake, the fire! Oh god, it's getting worse. But yeah, I think I'll leave you here, guys. Nice little start for our high density. We'll dedicate next episode to high density. Let's see some people using this thing here. So we'll expand over here, get some more people using it. We'll maybe skip an episode or two in between the next highway interchange, but more of this to come. And feel free to upload your own pictures. Share what you got, And we'll monitor this. Maybe this needs to be improved on. If you guys have improvements too, I love seeing that kind of stuff, right? And again, I think a lot of the time it's fun to like make something, not to make it perfect, but to kind of see like how it functions. And then we can kind of go back to the drawing board after, see if we need to improve on it. But I think this looks great so far. And we can definitely make it better by detailing. And it'll look fantastic when we see some real traffic flow in here, right? Really test it out. All right, well, fire's almost out. And fire's not at my heart, though. I hope not. No, definitely not. You guys are great. I really appreciate all the warm comments. A lot of friendly support, too. I really appreciate all the, just everything, guys. Patreon. Some of you have been taking advantage of the PayPal link. That helps so much. I can't even tell you. I am trying to make this, like, a real deal job, so it helps so much, guys. But yeah, don't feel like ever you have to, just be here, hit the like button. That's way more than enough. Guys, I like you. You like me, right? Hopefully we'll keep this going forever. You're the best. But don't ever feel like there's a paywall. That's kind of, money's weird when you talk about, All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. You're wonderful. I'll try to get them out at a pretty good rate. I think we're doing well so far. I'm trying to do at least like 5 uploads a week. Maybe daily. We're striving for that. But I'm kind of recording these and uploading them as I go. I'm trying my best with my schedule to get like ahead of the curve, get a few of these out, but it's tough. Anyway, I know we're in this for the long haul. You guys are wonderful. Thank you very much for hanging out. We'll see you again. So next episode, more high density building, and I think we're gonna do a little bit of a segue into like a community bus or something. And then I'm probably gonna dedicate multiple episodes for different types of transit, building the transit hubs together, that kind of stuff, right? All right, onward and upward. See you guys in the next one. Happy building. Take care of yourselves.